Then may I introduce Ms. Brynn O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One quick clarification and two very brief questions. The clarification is to ACCR's motives. Now, it's been said that we're trying to influence government policy. We have two interests in putting this resolution today. One is the protection of shareholder value in this company by robust management of ESG risks. And the other is in seeing that where companies make commitments, such as to the UN Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights, that they are upheld. So that's the clarification. Secondly, my first question is in relation to John Ruggie, Professor Ruggie. Are you suggesting that Professor Ruggie has endorsed the board's approach to this issue?
So the first, I'd make a comment on your comment, and that is I think you're misguided in terms of the ESG side of things, because I think the Qantas board and Qantas is acting absolutely appropriately on this on every front, and I think it would be terribly disadvantaged for the company to do anything other than what we're doing at the moment. On Mr. Ruggie, I don't think we're saying that. I think we're saying that we sat down with him to get clarification on those UN guiding principles.
Sure. I mean, I just point out I once met Tony Abbott, and I don't think that he agrees with everything that I'm saying.
No, I think that's disingenuous. What we were saying when we raised that, like when we met with you, when I met with you, is that we did explore the issue. We are looking at the guiding principles. We try to understand as much as we can about the details of and the foundations from the man who created the guiding principles to help inform us on our position. So it was done with good intent. It continues to be done with good intent, and we do believe we are honouring our commitment under the guiding principles. I know you have a different view, and in the risk assessment you also have a different view, and I respect that, but we are good at doing risk assessments. That's what the airline industry is based on. We do risk assessments across the board on a huge range of items. We've done the risk assessments on this, and we think by taking the action you want us to take, we're creating more risk on ESG, we're taking more risk on damaging the community and the environment that we operate in, and as a result, we can ask the shareholders to reject this resolution.
Got it. And you know, we do disagree on that, and that's where we are. But I'd note that the risk here is different. We're talking about human rights risk, and that's what the guiding principles talks about, the risk to rights holders.
And I am talking about human rights risks as well. By us not transporting a large element of these people, we are creating human rights risks. People not getting medical help, people being deported for the right reasons, which is part of what we act as a community and as an airline on it. And you've recognised there are categories in that there. And we're saying we can't be the judge, we don't have the information, we're never going to have the case files, and we can't separate these out, and we'll be creating more risk by following the action you want us to take.
Sure. With respect, we absolutely disagree on that. Yeah. My final question is the chairman aware of a transfer that Qantas participated in a couple of weeks ago of or perhaps about a month ago now, of a severely mentally ill man from Melbourne to Perth on a Qantas flight?
I'll get Alan to respond.
So we don't comment because of privacy reasons on individual cases. You know we can't do that. But what we do is have a process in place where we actually do receive medical information for people that we're carrying, and we do understand what the position is, and there needs to be information given to us for clearance before that occurs. But I cannot and will not comment on individual cases.
And we're not asking you to. Do you accept that there are human rights risks that attach to domestic transfer activity in certain circumstances?
So when we started this dialogue with ACCR, you were really concerned about international risks. Now it's expanded to domestic transportation risk. Can I say, and we'll have to agree to disagree, there are various reasons why people are transferred domestically as well for medical treatments. which are legitimate and needed and are helping people. There are people being transported from moving around centres because of overcrowding and to help people as a consequence of it. How can the airline be the judge on each of these individual cases? It gets extremely hard, and you're asking us to do an impossible task. And we can cause damage by not carrying people and refusing to carry people, and we'll not take that risk.
With
Okay,
respect, but just one final clarification.
No, I
With
think we're done. I
respect,
think
we
you've
have
asked-
only talked about involuntary transfers, not voluntary transfers for medical treatment.
I'm
And that
now
has
gonna-
been a part of our resolution last year too. Thank you.
I'm now going to